Hi, it's Kristen Fury back with TheFureyFighter, and I have one of my very close friends, Maggie Baldwin from Let's Talk IBD.
Hello.
You guys may recognize her from her YouTube channel and every other amazing platform, but she's here visiting in California for our 11 Health Company meeting. We both work for 11 Health, and it's been such an amazing meeting. We've had a lot of speakers, we've had a lot of team exercises. We're attached to the hip every single time she is here, or we're in another state together. But we're here to talk about Barbie Butt surgery.
Woo.
Yes, exciting. So we've been on a ton of walks outside because it's really hard to sit after Barbie Butt surgery if you guys have had that or heard about it. So our long walks outside in the sunshine. Maggie gets to go back to what weather do you have currently?
I was told it was raining and cold. My fiance's not happy.
Oh no. So
I'm jealous though. But it is beautiful here, and I'm fortunate to be able to come.
definitely 80 degrees and sunny outside as we speak. So our walks outside, we've had lunches together, work meetings, but we got to eat together at lunch. Of course, sitting next to each other as always. But like I said, we're here to talk about Barbie butt surgery. So we're gonna start by talking about our visit to Hope. We shared a hotel room, which is, like I said, we're always attached to the hip, but there was something that happened in the hotel room that really impacted Maggie's not decision, but her feeling about her surgery coming up. So I'm gonna let her take it away.
So I kind of knew that surgery would be coming in the next few months, and that was like October of 2019, and I got surgery a couple months later. And I knew that Kristen had had surgery. I knew her story a little bit about how difficult it was for her, so I was feeling nervous. And being about to getting married, my fiance and I were trying to figure out what it was gonna look like, because I think that runs through everybody's mind. Like, this is a major surgery, and a lot of it is cosmetic. And when you go online, there really isn't a whole lot out there. You can't just, Google Barbie butt surgery and find what you're looking for. So I say, Kristen, would it be possible to maybe, if you feel comfortable, see it? And before I could even finish the question, she turned around and her butt was in my face. But, no pun intended. I was like shocked because I didn't know how good it was going to look. And the difference between our surgeries is that Kristen had something called a flap because she did have some healing problems. You were very sick with Crohn's at the time, and I was, for the most part, in remission when I had mine done. So I went into it in a much healthier, nutritionally healthier state. But I was worried, what if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't heal right? What is it gonna look like? And hers is amazing. I mean, who can say that? Like,
I know,
that's amazing.
we're very close. Yeah, and you don't really think about that to yourself, but when you show someone else who's about to get the surgery and they think it's amazing, I'm like wondering, I wonder what other people's butts look like after the surgery.
So
yeah,
it was very helpful. And so I went home and told Zach about it, and first he laughed. He was like, "Are you serious that this happened?" And then he was like, "That's awesome," because he's been the one like helping me with my wound and all that, and it's really nice. He says like how good it looks too. So yeah, that's encouraging.
Very helpful.
Yes.
But I do want to go into more detail about my Barbie butt surgery. I know many of you guys may be about to get a surgery. You may have had one, or some just want to hear more about Barbie butt surgery. So I'm going to share how my surgery went. Like Maggie said, I was very sick at the time. It was 5 years ago. My Crohn's was very, very bad. It was when they gave me the temporary ileostomy and said that it would be reversed, but then they said, we need to get your colon out now. So during the proctocolectomy, they also did the Barbie butt closure. And the surgeon decided to do just a regular closure. And when I had that done, I was out of the hospital a couple days. Maggie will explain more about hers, but I'm very surprised how quickly she was out and recovered. Again, her health was different at the time. But I was out in a couple days. I was able to go back to regular activity. I went back to college. I was able to go on walks, and then a couple of weeks later it tore open. So you have to keep in mind, I was the sickest that I had been. I know my ostomy made me gain 50 pounds and become better, but my colon was still attacking and making my body just so sick. So that bottom ripped open. I had perianal disease. So the reason for me being so sick and then wanting to do the Barbie butt was because I had that perianal disease. So that is like an open wound kind of between your bottom and your vaginal area, and anytime anything that's wet gets there, it is so extremely painful. So I was very excited to hear that I was getting that Barbie butt and that pain was going to go away. So after that bottom tore open, they said they wanted to do a flap surgery. So that meant a plastic surgeon needed to come in. They needed to take skin from a different part of your body. Mine was my butt cheek, and then put it over that wound. So I went into that surgery with a promise from my surgeon that I would not miss any school. College was very important to me, and I didn't want to miss any semesters. The promise was unfortunately broken. I was in the hospital for 4 weeks in this special bed. So I laid on my back for that whole time. It was like kind of like a waterbed feeling thing to make sure that my wound would heal. After that 4 weeks in the hospital, they said, we need to send you to a recovery home. That was one of the hardest things I heard. I thought I was done. I cried, I begged not to, but it happened, and I am gonna get to the happy ending. But when I went to the recovery home, there was about 5 other patients there. They all had different things going on. One of the other patients was right next to me and had the same surgeon, so he would come and visit both of us. But in that time, again, I was flat in that bed. I was waiting for the surgeon to take out the drains. I was waiting for him to take out the stitches, and it just was a long wait. He would come in telling me he was ready to take out the drain, and he would just still see fluid in there. So it was so sad because I just wanted the drain to be out because it was so painful. Eventually he did take all of those out. I was a little bit better, and it was time to relearn how to walk. Being on your back for 8 weeks, if you can imagine, you get lightheaded standing up, and you just can't do it. So I started in a wheelchair, relearned to walk. The first time I sat up, I completely passed out, but I thought about it as baby steps. When you're sick and you have surgery, you have to recover at some kind of pace. So baby steps, sat up, passed out. Second time sat up, could sit a little bit longer. Had my mom there. She spent the night as many times as she could. You know, people have lives and people have jobs, so you can't expect everyone to just drop everything. But because of the time that I spent in the hospital in that recovery home, it really did affect my mental health. I developed PTSD. So that was really, really hard. But eventually when I was out of there and I could walk, my bottom had never ripped open again. Awesome. I was not in pain anymore.
Tell me, so when you have these incisions and whatnot, they tend to drain for a long time. How long did it take for yours to just, stop draining?
Like the time that the drains had to be taken out?
Not your drains, but like your actual incisions. Did you have any drainage from them, or did they kind of did they heal?
Yeah, by the time I was home, I had I did put gauze and stuff over that, but I think by then it was okay.
Whoa.
I still got the phantom, was it the feelings where you feel like you have to go to the bathroom?
Yeah. Well, I'm only 2.5 months after surgery. My wound is still draining quite a bit, so I have gauze shoved up my, yep. And, there's still a lot of pain when I sit, but it's much more manageable now. So that's really interesting. Wow. That's how everybody heals differently. And, it's just funny because yours was like you had to go back and do it. Wow.
Yeah. Everybody's different,
yeah.
But you have to hear other stories to know that you're not the only person going through that very difficult time. Yeah. And there are different ways to cope, but I hope our stories kind of gave you some insight into what the surgery is and how you can heal differently. And we hope that you guys comment and ask us anything that you would like to hear about our experience with our Barbie Butt surgeries. anything about the surgery in general that you want to know, or just say hello. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you for joining me.
No problem.
I love you, and I keep mentioning you in all my videos. So now everybody gets to see you if you don't already know her. I will see you guys soon. Hopefully you'll see Maggie soon with me. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.